Hey everyone, Insane Frame here, how you all doing? We're back with another video, and in the last Fallout video, we ran around with a power fist in New Vegas, punching things. And since that was a lot of fun, let's turn it up a notch and see if we can do something in power armor. So today we're going to answer the question, can you beat Fallout 4 in a set of T45 power armor? So let's quickly go over the rules. In this run, we may only use T45 power armor to attack in combat. No weapons can be used at all, no glitches or exploits, and no mods. With that out of the way, let's get started. We begin character creation, and we have a very handsome fellow with long black hair, and we meet Codsworth, who is very upbeat and everything is wonderful. We also meet our wife Nora, who is wonderful, and our son, who he strangely looks like a sausage roll. We answer the door to decide some basic things about ourselves, and then we name ourselves Barefist, as we'll be punching people in the face a lot with power armor. We max out our strength, get 8 intelligence and 4 endurance and 3 in luck. We soon take a nice stroll to the vault, as we're certainly not in a hurry, thanks Todd, and gaze upon the wonderful scenery and take it all in good stride. Good job Todd, almost as good as a hydraulic power fist. Anyway, we hurry to the vault and watch the bombs drop and enter Vault 111. And very soon we get cryogenically frozen, and during our cryostasis we get the first piece of story. We watch our sausage roll son get taken and our wife Nora get shot, which is pretty much the premise to the whole story. Upon waking up we already have a problem, as we can't really attack, so we have our first obstacle, which is the rad roaches. We simply run past the rad roaches and lock some of them out, and then we just sneak back round to avoid more of them, and then we managed to open the vault. We then get our first view of the wasteland, and it's scorched and now, well, a wasteland. But the first thing we need to do immediately is locate some T45 power armor and all the pieces that go with it. Lucky for us, it's not too hard to find, and you can get it very early on in the game. Anyway, we go back to our house and find our special book to improve our intelligence to 9. And then we go to Codsworth, who's still alive after 210 years. We ask if he's okay. He has this to say.
You're acting a little bit weird. What's wrong?
Oh, son, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing! And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car! How do you polish rust?
We leave Codsworth to find him some friends and come to the Red Rocket truck stop with Dogmeat. We let him pal around with us, as he is a dog and dogs are great and everybody should know dogs are fluffy and cute and awesome. Anyway, since we can't fight the raiders, we head to the church and climb the roof. We then go from the roof to the church and jump onto a vertibird and find some power armor. This is pretty much what we're going to be using for the rest of the run. And combat is hilarious as we don't have a power core yet, so we slowly approach people and then just punch them in hilarious fashion. But luck is on our side and there is a power core in the basement. We quickly grab it and we are good to go. After a brief discussion with the Minutemen, we jump off the roof and beat some raiders outside in submission, and then come to our first very, very difficult challenge, a Deathclaw of all things. We leave some raiders alive so they can deal damage to the Deathclaw, and then we go back and get out of our power armor so Preston can get to work, and hilariously this takes a while. I sped up the footage a little bit and you can see that it takes about 10 minutes in real life and we just have to wait it out, and poor Dogmeat gets his ass beat, but yeah, it's a Deathclaw, it's big and scary, so go figure. Anyway, we head to the Red Rocket truck stop and deposit our armor and head to Sanctuary. We then build our infrastructure and try to get our water supply up and running. After that, we head to a raider camp next to a satellite dish complete with a bunker, and we scavenge everything we can. We also get another infusion core, which is absolutely invaluable at this point in the game, and it is a very decent win. And then we start making our way towards Diamond City and see Trudy in her diner. We deal with the raiders with our power armor, and then we get some gubbins, and we head to Apathy Farm to steal some tomatoes, get our food in Sanctuary Hills up and running, and we build 2 more industrial water purifiers. Now we just need some power and we're set. Anyway, we continue to Diamond City, and along the way we pick up a magazine called Tales of a Jerky Town Vendor, which will help us trade because it helps us with prices with vendors. We then get lost and end up in Good Neighbor for whatever reason, of all places, but it's not a bad place to get lost in, it'll come in handy later. But we then finally get to Diamond City and Piper does her thing and the gate opens and we get let in. We just ignore everybody and head straight on to the merchants and get supplies, and yeah, we get our power online for our water. This is really, really, really good. We wait a couple of days and we get a huge supply of water. We pretty much have become the water baron at this point, and that means shops will restock us with power cores, meaning we have a constant supply of power cores by level 8. This is absolutely fantastic for us. As the new water baron, we now have this absolute monstrosity that is 10 industrial water purifiers, and it makes 400 purified water, making obtaining fusion cores a thing of the past. By the way, as a side note, if you want a detailed video on how to get this online and how to trade water as a new currency, comment down below and I'll make a video on it for you. Anyway, let's get back to the challenge, you wonderful, wonderful people. We use our new currency of purified water to purchase fusion cores, and with a few new fusion cores under our belt, we begin to upgrade our T45 Power armour. We paint the whole thing military style, giving us a strength boost, and we also upgrade it to a Model C, which gives more health, defense and resistances, and to top it all off, more health to the armor overall. It's safe to assume we are pretty well equipped now, but I'm not holding my breath because I know how difficult the game can be. We get in our newly upgraded power armor and set out for Valentine's Detective Agency. We go into a small office and meet Valentine's secretary, Ellie. Ellie says Valentine is missing, so it's in our best interest to get him back. We deal with a few ruffians, manage to break through, and our armour is just hilariously powerful at this point, as we just hammer people in the face and take barely any damage, which is hilarious. And we just basically walk through everything with very little damage, but our armour is kind of broken. But we can repair it with steel, which is a very, very common material, so that's neat. We meet up with Valentine and then face off with the Triggermen boss. And everything goes south and they think they can beat us in power armor, which is a really bad idea because you don't poke a man in power armor. We rescue Valentine, who agrees to help, and he informs us of the Institute and the existence of simps, and then we have to head to Kellogg Cornflake's house and it's locked. So naturally we go and bribe the mayor's secretary to get the key, and we get into Kellogg Cornflake's house. We find a cool little secret room and then use dog meat to track his scent to Fort Hagen. Fort Hagen is where Kellogg Cornflakes is hiding. Soon enough we come face to face and we knock him out with our bare fists. And yes, that is why we named our character for this pun. And yes, that is why we named our character for this specific pun. I'm sorry. We use Kellogg Cornflakes terminal and find out Sean was taken by the Institute. And we then go outside and see a Brotherhood of Steel airship arrive in absolutely amazing fashion with vertebrates in tow. We head back to Valentine and he states we should head to the memory den in Good Neighbor. We get there and Valentine gets hooked up and we rummage around in Valentine's brain with Kellogg's implants and eventually find a former Institute scientist called Brian Virgil, who it turns out is hiding from the Institute located in the Glowing Sea, which is a very, very long way away.
Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the Glowing Sea.
Anyway, we walk through the Glowing Sea, and it's exactly what you would expect. And our power armor smashes through any enemies in the area, and that's mainly Brad Scorpions. But we eventually get to Virgil, and he's a artificial super mutant scientist, I guess? And he agrees to help us out if we get him his serum from the Institute. We agree, and he says we need to locate a Institute Corsair. Virgil states the ideal location, which is in the CIT building, so we go ahead and head on out. Upon arrival, we see the place is decorated with masses of bodies, and the gunners, who are a mercenary corps, are trying to deal with a single courser. We eventually locate him and just simply beat him down because we disarm him and his fists are useless against our power armor. It's actually quite hilarious. A courser is helpless to do his job and kill us, so yay, go us. Upon getting the chip from the courser, we then have to go and locate the railroad. But going on past experience, we arrive at their location at the basement of the old church and solve a puzzle by spelling the word railroad on a circular dial. We then meet with Desmona, Glory and Deacon, and we begin getting questioned by Desmona, who is not realising we are in power armour and she is not. So in essence, we could bulldoze the place if we really wanted to, and she has the audacity to say to us that she wants to keep the Corsair chip once we're done with it. Personally, I don't like that tone with us too much, but we gotta do it for the storyline, I guess. Anyway, we return to Virgil, who shares our disdain for the railroad, and he gives us a blueprint for a teleporter. The teleporter is used to get into the Institute, which is genius really, and then we have to go back to Sanctuary to talk to Sturges. Sturges then helps us out and we put together the teleporter, and we also take time to upgrade our power armor, but this time we're upgrading it with rusty knuckles, meaning we now do bleed damage on all our unarmed attacks. We then stand on a platform and are teleported into the Institute and upload Sturges' holotape for him, and then we are greeted by Father, who basically just tries to persuade us and introduced us to the Institute. We also find a child who looks like our son, and we sort of don't really act like the game wants us to. As playing this game prior to this playthrough, I know Father is our son and we're Father's father, so yeah, thanks Todd, you're making this script very difficult to write. Anyway, Sean is now an old man and now the leader of the Institute, which is like the Wasteland's boogeyman. And he was taken because he had the perfect preserved human genetics, which was used for synth production. Anyway, we go and get Virgil's serum, and Father assigns us some missions, which, for the record, we have no interest in doing because we're going to continue helping the Minutemen. And eventually, we get the mission to retake the castle, and to our surprise, we have a mylar queen come out of the ocean. Lovely! And this thing can one-shot us in melee and spits very damaging poison at us and has hatchlings that spawn very, very frequently. Yep, this is going to be the Deathclaw all over again, but much worse. Anyway, we wait around and Preston now has a flamethrower this time, which is pretty nice. And Dogmeat is constantly getting put down, but it takes a while, but we watch as Preston constantly lights the mylar queen on fire, and I don't even know how, but Dogmeat is chewing on, well, something with the mylar queen and doing damage. It takes about 20 minutes of real life time to defeat her, but our patience pays off. And we then get control of the base, but my god, that was really, really rough. We fortify the castle and pull in some proper defences, complete with a truckload of turrets and traps and food and water. We then talk to Ronnie Shaw and she mentions about the castle's armoury, so we go to a general's office, move some dirt and take to the tunnels. The armoury is through these tunnels, but it's laden with landmines, and we even beat a sentry bot named Sarge. We eventually get to the armoury itself and get some blueprints for artillery guns. And we build one, and Ronnie states we need to test fire it first, which I guess is a smart thing to do. We test fire the artillery, a massive inferno drops, and everybody's happy. Now, to progress the Minutemen storyline from here, we actually have to be an enemy of the Institute. The game doesn't really tell you this. So what we do is we teleport to the Institute and we do the only humane thing. We kill every single Institute personnel, we use some psycho and healing items, which work wonders, and make a huge mess that, quite frankly, a Raider Warlord would be very proud of. So with the Institute dealt with and no one are left alive, to my surprise, a voice is heard over the intercom taunting us, and we then teleport out. I guess that's that then. We level up and upgrade our power armor to Model E and head out. We now go defend our base at the castle, and Ronnie Shaw is waiting for us, saying the Institute are coming. With our defences up and ready, we are ready for whatever the Institute has to throw at us, and our defences do an extremely good job at halting a lot of the Institute. But the Institute come in full force, and it is a long and drawn out fight, but we do take them out and manage to destroy them in their assault. Ronnie loved the fight, and she says we need to talk to Preston, who then directs us to Sturges in Sanctuary Hills. Sturges tells us of a water service pipe to get inside the Institute, but it has a high radiation content to it. We enter the pipe and deal with a few simps and a couple of feral ghouls, and we're back in the Institute yet again. We then load a holotape that springs to life and spawns the Minutemen with Preston and Sturges in tow. We have a round 2 with the Institute, and honestly, I thought that we would have less guys because we killed so many people, but hey, the more people there are, the more fists that need to go in faces, for we are bare fist. We make our way to Father's computer to issue an evacuation order and unlock the reactor. Since Father is dead, we don't get the interaction we would have gotten, but we do head to the reactor and we place the bomb on the reactor. We then have the child simp from earlier who was scared of us, and now he is reprogrammed to think we are his actual dad. We teleport out and press the detonator, ending the run and destroying the Institute, proving, yes, you can beat Fallout 4 with T45 Power armour. Okay, that was a lot of fun, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because the armour held up nicely and the rusty knuckles did just enough damage. It was certainly a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to check out the other videos because next week we're going to see if you can beat Fallout 4 with a walking stick. And with that, like the video, comment down below, and of course, thank you very much for watching. I hugely appreciate it, and stay tuned for the next video. This is Insane Frames, signing out. Bye-bye for now, guys. You have been absolutely amazing. Ta-ta, and have a nice day.